pretty much on like you could set your clock to it. And that was because he did have a real life job. It just wasn't the job he said. Now, and I think we know the answer, but we'll ask it. The transition to Apple, we don't think that was probably even a real thing. Or do we even know?
So the transition to Apple means that he got a job somewhere because he was still paying a portion of the bills. The reason why I say Apple is because I have no idea where he was working. But what I do know is that he was not working at Apple. So that's why I say that. I keep saying Apple with quotations to let you all know that's the lie. But I never verified the actual job the way that I did with the condiment company.
And, considering going back to what you said in the series, you found out later pretty much if he said it was a lie. So I think we can all pretty much guarantee he wasn't working at Apple.
Absolutely.
I'm going to bring up Shonda Martin real briefly. Let's bring up Shonda. Guys, if you're just getting here while we get Shonda into the box, if you're just getting here, if you don't know who Reesa is, I don't know what the hell you've been doing on TikTok for the last week, but go watch her 50-part series and come back. We won't be here, but that's who Reesa is. We're sending Reesa to London because if you did watch the 50-part series, then you would know that it is her dream to go to London and Paris. And after such a traumatic experience and being vulnerable enough to share that experience with us, then we think she deserves to go to London. So now the guest that we just added, Miss Shonda Martin. How are you doing, Shonda?
Hi, how are you? How are you, Reesa?
Hi.
I feel like I know you. I've been engulfed in like your story for the last few days.
Right.
But no.
So Shonda, you said, I think you made a whole video. Didn't you make a video about this too? You said,
yeah,
hey,
I stitched her.
Miss Reesa, I want to send you to London.
I sure do. So I would love to cover your flights round trip to and from. You're in Atlanta, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, from Atlanta to, I don't know which one you want to go to first, whether that's London and then either London to Paris. It can be whatever date you wish. You can go next weekend if you want. Or like if you need more time, it can be next year. It doesn't expire. So literally whenever you prefer, I got you. Flights on me. Literally.
Thank you so much.
That is incredible, Shonda.
Go to London. Okay, that's awesome.
Gonna go to London. I can't wait to watch you. I can't wait to watch the London lives and the vlogs. But yes, girl,
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
And Shonda, as detailed as she was in her story, that's how detailed this trip up to London and Paris is about to be too. You know it, right?
One thing Absolutely. I know is she knows how to tell a story. So I'm not listen. But honestly though, even if you would like to take it as a vacation and not post, because sometimes I get in the zone of not wanting to post, there is no pressure to post. You don't have to prove anything to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you enjoy yourself. You over deserve it. So don't feel pressure to post. We'll catch up with your trip when you get back.
I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And just so you know, because Shonda and I spoke before the live, so I knew Shonda was going to be taking care of the plane tickets, which, by the way, is fucking amazing, Shonda. So that's why the goal here, $5,000 goal, that's really just to cover hotels and spending cash, because it'll probably end up being a 4-day trip-ish, and so we just don't want Reesa to have to stress about the trip. So the plane flight's covered, the hotels and spending cash will be covered. Enjoy yourself. And speaking of people offering things, there's been people who's messaged me who said, hey, I'm in London. I live here. One of them said, I own a dance studio. I want, if she's interested, no pressure, come by and hang out with, do a free dance class, hang out with us. We got people who own restaurants saying, hey, I wanted to try whatever. You know what I mean? I'm going to send, if you're in my inbox and you're in London, I'm going to send your information to Reesa. And that can be handled privately. But Reesa, there's tons of people that want to show you around London and give you the local experience. And so I'm so excited for you for that.
I am too. I am. This is mind blowing. This whole experience has been mind blowing.
I'm sure it's overwhelming. Yeah. I was thinking that I'm sure she is getting tagged all day. So I can't even imagine. Do you know? There's no pressure. Do you have an idea of when you want to go? Is it soon? or is it like
I
next year?
really would. I would like to shoot for fall time frame, like a September,
Period. Yeah.
October, when it's after that. That summer vacation time. That's what I would like to do, ideally. But before it gets crazy, before the holidays and everything. So.
Which will be after tourist season, before the holiday. That's probably the perfect time to
that's
go.
true. Yeah, and so just
Perfect.
really quick, I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm not sure how long you guys want to stay. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You said how
and
long?
To the people
would
who
I
were saying like proof of funds, all of that. Listen. Oh no! I was talking to the comments because they're like proof of funds. I know it's like a thing. You should get that on a shirt, by the way. But
It's coming.
yeah, I 100%. Even I can turn it into either you or. Do you have a preferred airline?
Delta.
Is it Delta?
I do.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was
Delta's
gonna
the
say
shit.
any airline, but I love Delta. So yeah,
Agreed.
Delta works, and I'm a SkyMiles member. So hey.
Me too. So yeah.
And probably it'll probably help also if you guys are mutual, so you can DM on here.
Yes,
So if you click
I'll DM
her
you my
picture
number.
right now, Miss Reesa. Yeah, if you click her picture, Miss Reesa, it'll let you follow her while you're in the live.
Okay.
That way, you guys can DM after live and whatnot too.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So I'll send you my number because the messages gets lost in my inbox. So I'll send you my number just to make sure I don't miss it. And whenever you are ready, just send me your dates. Flight is booked. No questions asked.
Thank
questions
you
asked. Okay.
so much.
that's amazing, Sean.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome. I have to get back to dinner with these kids. I have to go finish cooking. So you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Again, I'll DM you my number so you can message me. Thank you so much, Jolly. Is your real name Jolly? What's your name?
Everybody calls me John. My real name is Russell, but I've been getting called
okay.
Jolly for 4 years now, so I'm used to it.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, thank you so much for bringing me on. And because I know I was getting tagged a lot in your video and vice versa. I was telling people, like, listen, we've already collaborated. We have a common goal. And that was to get her to London and Paris.
Absolutely.
She'll be there. So we're all in
absolutely.
cahoots. But thank you guys. You guys enjoy the remainder of your night.
Thank
I
you,
look forward
Shonda.
to
Have a
speaking
good
with you,
evening.
Reesa. You guys have an amazing day. Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am.
Take care. Yes, ma'am. Yes, because everybody was saying, hey, Jolly, I know you're planning on doing a live and send her to London, and just other creators talking about sending her or buying the plane ticket. And luckily, I was able to get in touch with her before the live even happened. So I knew that she was going to do that, which is just amazing. That's amazing. She said, hey, it's on me. I got it. And good choice on Delta. I mean, I'm sorry. I've flown a lot. I fly a lot because I go around the country. I do a lot of talking panels and rallies and protests and visit things, and so I fly a lot. And Delta is by far always the best experience for me. They just are.
And plus, this is Atlanta, so
yeah. Oh, true. That's like their hub, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Yeah. That is a good point. That's a good point. Real quick, somebody asked for an update. That's a good idea. We'll get an update from Miss Reesa where we are. You guys already put us more than halfway through the goal. While Miss Reesa is looking up the updated goal, if you have a question that you would like me to ask her, throw it in the chat real quick. If I see it, I'll ask it. If it's a question that you can answer by watching the series, then I'm not going to ask it. Miss Reesa poured her heart and soul into giving us 50 very detailed episodes. And quite frankly, it will answer a lot of your questions. So, yeah. I'm looking at the questions coming up. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll ask that one. There will be no questions about Legion's health. Miss Reesa does not know anything about his health. Once she kicked him out of her house, she wiped her hands clean of him. And so she never got the answers herself about his health. So I will not ask about that. We asked that question earlier, but I'll re-ask it because it's been a while, so that's no problem. Okay, I got some good questions. What's her update, Ms. Reesa?
The total is $32.95.43.
Hell yeah! So we can say $1,700 away. Guys, we're $1,700 away from our goal. What we put together, we calculated. We didn't just randomly come up with this. Me and Reesa got on a Zoom call. We crunched some numbers. We figured out what things cost. And so knowing that the plane ticket was taken care of, hotels and spending cash for like a 4-day trip, we got about $5,000. That's how we came up with this goal. Okay. And so if you want to help Miss Reesa get to London, that I argue she deserves, that's what we're doing. This is her Cash App and her Venmo. They are the same. Please make sure that you got 2 E's in Reesa and Teesa. It is not Ressa, Tessa. I've been watching people mess that up over the last... yeah, it could be as long as she wants it to be. We're just saying.
Okay, so let me interject one thing just because.
Go ahead.
And I'm all about, let's be honest. So previously the goal was 2166.48, but we've since gotten 32.95. So we're actually over. So there's not 1,700 left. We're actually over. So we're over by 7.
That's amazing.
I just want to clarify that.
That is amazing, dude. So first of all, shout out to you guys. We are there. We got Reesa's London Fun in only 1 hour. Really, actually, like 40 minutes because we didn't start till like 7:20 because of Atlanta traffic. Who knew Atlanta traffic would be bad? So that's amazing, guys. If you want to continue to bless her Cash App and Venmo, you can do so. All the funds from this live is going to London, and that's amazing. That's incredible. Now I'm so excited. I forgot the question I was going to ask. I got to remember. Somebody had asked a question. Oh, well, you've already answered this, but it's been about 15-20 minutes, so we'll kind of circle back. Okay. Somebody said, "Hey, what's your plan now? Like, how do you plan to move forward with this thing? How it haven't blown up as much as it has?"
Yeah. So right now the plan is, first of all, I would like to turn this into a book. And I had stated earlier, I simply just need to be connected with the right people, the right publishers, the right publishing house. But I do believe that this is definitely book worthy. If an opportunity comes as far as television or film, I would take a meeting. I mean, why not? So I'm really open to whatever doors God has open, to be honest with you. That's just the truth. That's the easiest way I can put it.
I love that. Somebody asked a question. I think it's a good question, and I know that in the live that you held a couple of days ago, you answered this question. Okay. So for anybody who might have missed it, remember he had said, he was going to send his ex-wife $2,000 for a funeral. What's the whole story behind that? Would that turn out to be not true or what?
Okay, so, and I've seen a lot of people ask about this, and I saw one creator who stated, I didn't make it clear, so I apologize. I thought that I did. What he actually did was he called and told me about the funeral and said, do you mind if because again, in his mind, we were married, we had separate accounts, but he felt like because we are married, we are considered one. So he was saying, do you mind if we lend my ex-wife $2,000 to go towards the funeral? I said, sure, no problem, because again, pulling at my heartstrings for the fact that she had lost her child. I have not found any evidence that he ever sent $2,000. I believe it was just part of the lie to keep going with the whole, I'm a good guy, I help other people out type of thing. But there was no evidence that the money was sent anywhere. When I say that there's no evidence, keep in mind, I didn't find anything at all. So nothing shows me that he ever gave anyone $2,000. So I just believe it was just it was a different personality that was just lying at the time.
I think you're right. And I felt like it was clear in the video why he was asking you. And I think what the question was probably asking was, did he ever send it? And it sounds like he just didn't. I think you're right. Just it was a way to say, see, aren't I such a good person? Somebody said the weekend jail. Remember you talked about finding the weekend jail receipts in the backpack. Mm-hmm. Was he attending weekend jail while you were with him?
No. Weekend jail happened, and I believe, I haven't confirmed it, but I think weekend jail may have happened around the time of LaToya, or I don't want to say her name wrong, but around the time of the first wife. It happened way before me. So no, there was no weekend jail during my stint. It was more of, that's when I found receipts after he had been kicked out and he left that book bag.
100%. I do see some questions in the chat that are referencing what Legion said in his video. Guys, we're not asking Reesa to respond to any more of his lies, okay? So you'll just have to keep wondering that.
If it's okay with you, I will address something because I think it's only fair. So I know a lot of people are asking me who was Bradley. So Bradley, I do not know Bradley. I can tell you that at one point in time, Legion was heavy on Facebook. I believe that there was a gentleman whose name was Brad from Augusta, and I believe it is still on his Facebooks. He was a gentleman who would always like or comment on a lot of Legion selfies. That is the only Brad I know. So I don't know if he's saying that there's another Bradley, but there was a Brad who would comment on his Facebook post from like a few years ago. Every time he did it, so
I just assumed he made it clean the fuck up. As soon as I saw his 15-second bullshit video, I said, well, he's just lying again.
So for the record, he is lying about, he kicked me out or he left me, and it's because he found me in the house with Brad. Okay, buddy, but again, there were differences to when you got kicked out. So yeah, that's funny. But yes, there was in fact a gentleman on Facebook who posted a lot on his page named Brad from Augusta.
Yeah, we knew he was lying right away, dude. We knew that. Listen, you got, like I said a minute ago, you got on here and gave us 500 minutes of intricate detail. Speaking of details, did you use your audio diaries? Like, did you listen to the audio diary, then come back and make an episode, or did you just do the whole episodes from memory?
Okay, so I use the audio diaries. If you watch the series, in one of them, I said that we had gotten married in January, and I said about 2 weeks later, I was having some issues, and I had an audio diary. The date of the audio diary is January 21st. So that I actually did go back and listen to that audio diary. Everything else, unfortunately, is truly from traumatic memory. There are things I simply, truly, and honestly remember that I went through. It's like it is ingrained in my head. So, I mean, I can't put it any other way. I distinctly remember what I wore on our first date. I distinctly remember what I wore the day we got married. It's just certain things that I don't need an audio diary for. I lived it. And it's like I said, it's burned in my memory. That
is impressive. Like for me, that's impressive. For the level of detail that you provided, I thought the whole time, like while I was watching it in my head, after you mentioned the audio diary, because you said a couple weeks you started making those audio diaries, I was like, oh, that's how she's doing all the details. But now to know that you were just recalling it is absolutely incredible to me, because it was just so much detail that you provided. You know what I mean? So much detail. Guys, for those of you asking about the shirt, you can go to her page. And she has a video posted with this shirt, another shirt, and she has more shirts coming. And you can get one. She has the link in her video for this shirt. I'm definitely buying one. It's fucking great. But you were about to say, go ahead. You were about to say something. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that in terms, you were talking about in terms of just having a good memory and being so detailed. Being detailed, I intentionally was detailed. I may have been overly detailed. That may be why there, were 10-minute videos versus 55-minute videos. But I wanted, I'm just a believer. If you were going to come on here and tell the story, be detailed, especially because I would like for people to be able to mentally picture what it is I'm saying, and take your time to tell the story. Because again, I made the playlist so that people could listen to it, maybe one episode or one date here, and then they come back wherever they left off. So I wanted to be detailed because I knew what I was saying was going to sound crazy. But I also knew without a shadow of a doubt, every single thing I'm telling you all it actually happened. So it was intentional.
Yeah, I never doubted you for a second. So one thing I'm interested in kind of your opinion on, Of course, because it's the internet, and it's kind of taking a life of its own. And you got the wives that are like, "Damn," and they're making the video. Have you seen the videos? They're going in, they're telling their husband, "All right, I need to see your birth certificate, this, that, and the third." And I think it's all in good fun, but I really, truly think that you have raised a lot of awareness. Like, hey, notice red flags when they happen. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to, if you're being told something by somebody, don't be afraid to interrogate that. And I really, truly think that your story, I think that's, for me, I think it's the most powerful takeaway, is that I honestly think that your story, especially your vulnerability and how honest you are in telling the story, is going to make other people question it. And, and maybe pick up on the parade of nation flags that maybe, they didn't otherwise see.
Yeah. And like I said, I hope it helps someone, but even when you and I talked, I told you, I said, the sad part about going through what I went through with Legion is when you and I were talking about when we first discussed putting this together. And I said to you, I hear you, and I understand that you want to help me get to London, but I'm afraid to get excited.
Right.
That is the downside of being outside of this situation. I'm scared to get excited, and that is something that I struggle with. Something that I'm going to have to kind of reprogram myself, that it is okay to get excited about something, to look forward to it, but I haven't looked forward to something in a long time out of fear that it's not going to happen. So
it's like a PTSD type response, basically.
And again, this is just me being honest. So it's not as if, oh, she's all healed. No, it is a journey. It is a process, but that is something I catch myself. There are things I catch myself doing now in response to the situation, the marriage, the relationship I had with Legion. If I hear someone on the phone, I stop what I'm doing. I almost hold my breath to see if I hear another voice on there because, so yeah, it's things I do sometimes.
Damn. And I can only imagine. I mean, I think that anybody would feel that way, to be frank with you. I mean, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? Like, I remember when you and I were talking the other day, when I first said, hey, we want to send you to London. And you said that. You said, hey, nothing against you, Jolly, but I'm scared to get excited. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And I told my wife and I told my mods, I was like, I don't give a damn. We are making this happen because I didn't, because life happens. And I did not want for something to happen and us not be able to do this after us promising we're going to do this, because I don't want it. I don't want it to be more trauma on you. So the fact that we fucking got it done makes me so happy. Shonda's going to buy the plane ticket. We got the funds. And for those of you who don't know, I also have a friend of mine who's, not on the live right now. He doesn't like to be public. But if things work out, we might even have like the hotel covered for Reesa, and that would make all this spending cash for the trip, which would be amazing. But I'm working on that. I'm working on that on the side, so it's going to be fucking incredible. Somebody just asked a really good question. I apologize. I forgot about it. God damn it. Oh, that's a good one. And now talk about it as much as you want to talk about it. You've already talked to me about this, but I'll leave this up to you. Somebody said, you have a job in a regular life, and how has this internet popularity over the last 5 days affected that?
I do have a job in a very regular life. Right now, again, just being transparent, things are crazy. Things are crazy in a way that I was not prepared for. There is no class on how to deal with one night nobody knows you, the next night random people do come up to you and ask you, are you Reesa off of TikTok? And I always try to stay gracious, always, because you never know how your story affected someone else. All I'm trying to do right now is, I think it's a little difficult because I've had moments where I'm scrolling TikTok like I normally do, and I see myself on different lives where they're not always positive, and I am human. So I've seen some stitches where people are talking about my looks. People are talking about how, that I'm dumb, that I'm stupid. And it's things that I'm just like, I'm not a dumb person. I'm not. I am not a stupid woman. But I admit that I made really, really bad decisions to stay in something that I should have ran as far away from as I possibly could. And that's why I say you pay a consequence for that. So now it's like, I understand that people have these think pieces and people have opinions on things because, again, I put it out there. But I would be remiss if I didn't admit that I've had moments where it took its toll. It has. Even in part 44 of the series, you can see it took its toll. Mm-hmm. And it was already emotionally draining. It was already mentally draining. But yeah, it's a little hard to see yourself, just to see people kind of rip you apart in a way in certain areas on TikTok.
Yeah, that's the negative, toxic side of the internet. I was talking about this yesterday on my live. I mean, you could literally live stream yourself running into a burning building and saving a child and a puppy on live stream. And there would be somebody that would find something negative. I can't believe you live streamed that. And it's how the internet does. And I, at least me, I want to send you all of our love, all of our positivity. I want you to know, for every one person saying something negative about you, there's 1,000 people, 10,000 people that are sending you love. Right now, there's 33,000 people in this live, and I don't see any negativity in the comments. So that's 33,000 people right here, right now, that stand in solidarity with you. You are human, dude. For me to say, hey, Reesa, ignore those comments. I told you this other night. Ignore those comments. That's not reasonable. You can't ignore it. You're a human being. And we know as people, as adults, to ignore things. But when they're coming in like stacks, that's hard to ignore. And like you said, you're just scrolling TikTok. You would normally scroll TikTok, and here's your face, and here's your face again, and here's your face again. And then some of it's not positive. You're only human. So I just want you to please remember that there's a lot of us that love and support you. That I personally think that, I mean, you're an incredibly intelligent, talented human being. Anybody calling you dumb is not watching the videos, because it's very clear that you got your shit together. And this guy's a professional manipulator. This wasn't your run of the mill manipulation. This guy's on the phone having fake phone calls. I would have never. I mean, I'm looking back in my life. God, I wonder if anybody's been doing that to me. Like, that's crazy. Like, you would never think somebody's doing that. You know what I mean? So no, just, we do support you. A lot of us do. And I hope that at no point does that get to you. And you got my number. And if it ever gets to you too much, you can call me anytime. How's your family taking all this TikTok fame?
Woo. So on one hand, they just think, I think the word that we keep saying is wow. Obviously, no one thought it was going to turn into this, but I think overall they are really just like, oh my God, you're on this website, you're on that website. My coworkers were talking about this, or just all kinds of stuff. So they're taking it in stride, but it truly is mind blowing. It truly is. That's probably the best word for it. It is mind blowing because I see it happen to other people. It's very different when it happens to you. So
sure. And plus you get that side of it that you can't see unless you're going through it. You know what I mean? And this is what I was telling you earlier before we even went live. Part of what I hoped to accomplish here with this fundraiser in this interview was to talk about that side of it, to remind people, hey, this is a human being. Sure, it's viral. Sure, the videos are viral. Sure, you're watching it on your TikTok and on your live stream and probably on Facebook and YouTube at this point. And, but behind all that is a real life human being. And I think that gets lost in the mix a lot on social media. And then you got people out here that I've already seen a guy post a video like, let me tell you how much money Teesa made off her videos. Guys, let me be blatantly clear as somebody who's been on this app for 4 years and understands very clearly how you make money on these videos. Those numbers you guys are coming up with are incorrect. I promise you, very incorrect.
No,
I'm not going to sit here and like go through all the math. Just when I tell you that when you get views in high numbers, you don't get $1 per 1,000 views like what you guys think. That's not how it real life works. Unfortunately, it's just not true. And besides, if those numbers were right, it's her business, not ours. Okay. We don't go to like NBC News and say, oh, here's how much money they're making. Right. This is her work. This is her art. This is her creativity. This is her story. And whatever she got paid on, she deserved that because she put out a product that was consumed. And if you consume a product, people deserve to be paid for that. And if you are upset about that, then I'm just going to call it what it is. You're just hating for no reason. So I'm sorry. Somebody asked a fun question recently. Okay. Now you don't have to answer it. I think it's kind of a fun question, but it's up to you. They said, "Who do you want to play you in the movie?"
Okay, so I thought about this, and I've seen a whole lot of suggestions. I don't know her name, but she plays Kelly on Insecure because she's hilarious. And again, outside of TikTok, I promise y'all, I'm really, really a lot of fun, and I am the funny one. So if I could choose anybody, she's my first pick. But again, I don't know her name. I just know she plays Kelly on Insecure.
I'm looking her up right now. Let's see if I can find her name.
Yeah.
I don't even know Insecure. This is where I fail because I don't watch TV enough.
Insecure is the show that used to be on HBO that was written by Issa Rae.
Yeah, I literally just found HBO written by Issa. I've seen that. God dang it! Is it Natasha Rothwell?
It may be. I know the girl. I know vaguely the girl that plays Molly, but yeah, the one that plays Kelly. I think her first name is Natasha.
Okay. Yep. Somebody in the chat confirmed it. Okay. So Natasha Rothwell, if you're watching this,
Natasha would be my first pick, and then Jill Scott would be my second pick. Even though Jill Scott is from Philly,
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Those are my top two.
When we were watching your live the other night on Saturday, Leslie Jones. She was in my live for 6 hours. She was there. She was enthralled in your story, and she's Team Reesa, by the way. Her and I spoke afterwards in DM, and she's Team Reesa, and that's what we were telling.